Standing on Highway 93, just south of the I-40 as you're heading north on Highway 93. Before you hit the I-40, this is Hackberry Road right there. And to find the 160 acres for sale at online auction, take a right here at Hackberry Road and just follow it down about 0.7 miles. You'll see another green auction sign like that one right there that says, indicates to turn to the right on Knight Creek Road. And you're gonna follow Knight Creek Road about 14.3 miles up into those hills back there, and you'll arrive eventually at the gate of the property that's got another one of those green auction signs on it. 160 acres for sale out here in Mohave County, east of Highway 93, south of Interstate 40. Beautiful topography out there. We just spent part of the day out there touring around and checking it out. And just beautiful. A lot of nice geo rock formations, some usable, buildable land. There's actually people living out there off grid. So it's a great lifestyle out here in Mohave County. So you've come off of Highway 93 on Hackberry Road, 0.7 miles. The second right you get to is called Knight Creek Road. At Knight Creek Road, you're gonna take a right and start heading east. You should see the real estate auction sign pointing you in the right direction. And start heading east on Knight Creek Road. Don't get off of Knight Creek Road. It's 14.3 miles on this road to the gate at the property. There will be a place where the road veers off to the kind of northeast to the left. Don't take that fork. Just stay on the main Knight Creek Road, 14.3 miles to get to the gate that enters into the 160 acres being sold at online auction. So take a right, 0.7 miles off of Highway 93 on Knight Creek Road. When you arrive to the first cattle guard, that's about 6 or so miles in from the turnoff onto Knight Ranch Road. So just keep heading east on Knight Ranch Road, and it's going to meander its way back up through the valley there to the property. Right after you cross through the wash, which is right over here, you're going to come to this fork in the road. And you can either go left, kind of to the north, more towards the I-40, or you can go to the right, east. Stay on the road to the right, don't take the left. There should be a sign here that'll show you, choose the right. So take a right and keep heading east. As you continue coming up to the east on Knight Creek Road, the first fork in the road is a mile behind us. So as you go a mile north, you'll hit the second fork in the road, and you should see a real estate auction sign telling you to keep right, and there's a sign that says Knight Creek pointing left. That will take you to the Knight Creek, but to getting to the 160 acres, stay to the right and keep going straight, kind of to the east. So choose the right when a choice is placed before you. If you've made it this far, congratulations. We're about 1.5 miles-ish from the property, so you've been coming up this way, and the road has turned now, obviously, and we're heading east. So you're gonna come up against this peak, and then there's this kind of like tabletop bluff. This road's gonna meander around over on the south side of that bluff, and that's where you're gonna find the end of this road and the gate to get to the 160 acres. So you're almost there, keep driving. Standing at the western property line of the 80 acres. This is Knight Creek Road that you would have come in on, and you would have reached the gate. Here's the gate right here. And so to access the property, just unclip it, swing it open this way, drive on through, and you'll be in the northwestern corner of the 80-acre parcel. So the northern property line is just over here and it runs east and west. This is the western property line that runs north and south. So this is the western edge. It's actually fenced on this side, and you can see this fence line, and it runs right on up the hill there. So this is the 80 acres here in front of me. A lot of flatter, usable area in the northwest corner of the 80 acres. The 80 acre parcel heads on from the north, heads over top the ridge line, and heads on back down the south side. And then there are two 40 acre parcels on the east side of this 80 acre piece. So there's 80 acres here and then a 40 acre and a 40 acre. The north side of this property is state of Arizona land, and it's got these beautiful rock outcroppings here on the northern side as the neighbor. So a beautiful piece of property here, 160 acres, being sold at an Arizona land auction. So check it out online and get ready for some auction bidding and some beautiful property. So we parked over on kind of the northwest corner of the property where it was easy to get to, and there is somewhat of a road that's been brought in, kind of going off to the east and then curving around to the south. So we're only just inside the north property line, maybe 100 yards or so, and here in a flat clearing area is a camper trailer shell that's been placed out here. But as you can see, the terrain rises about the top of that ridge. From what we can see on our land ID map with the contours on, is about the middle of the 160 acres, and then it continues on down the backside. So I'm almost standing on the middle line between the two eastern 40 acres and the western 80 acre parcel of the 160 acres that we're offering at online land auction. So check it out online if you want to come out here and come see it for yourself. Please do. It's beautiful. It's not a bad drive to get up here. It takes about 40 minutes once you get off of Highway 93 on Hackberry Road, and then you take a right on the Knight Creek Road, and just keep following it, and you'll eventually hit the gate that has the auction sign on it, and you'll know you've arrived at the gate. So anyway, check it out. Beautiful area out here, south of the I-40, east of Highway 93, east of Kingman, Arizona. Standing on the north side on the little road, so we're just off of the north side of the property line. We came in on the gate, which is down towards the bottom of this rock outcropping, just over there a little ways, and then follow this road here. So the property line on the north side starts just a little bit off this road and takes in all of that ridge line you see there. It may even go over, I think, past the ridge line on the other side there. So all of this area here, there's the 80 acre piece, and then over here there's two 40 acre pieces, one on the north side and one on the south side of it. The rest of this property here, north of this, so this road is north of the property line. So where I'm standing is all state of Arizona land department land, so public land. And pretty cool topography, really pretty. As you can see, supposedly we didn't go hike for it, but we've seen pictures of a cave, I think, over in this rock outcropping here. If you were to explore there's kind of a large cave area there you can check out. So 160 acres being offered at online auction here in Mohave County, south of I-40, east of Highway 93, west of Kingman. Standing on the north side of the property, the dividing line between the 80 acres, which currently configured in 80 acres on the west side of the property, and then there's two 40 acre parcels. So if you imagine there's a 40, and one long 80, and I'm standing approximately on the dividing line between the two. So we came in down the road over here, around that corner where the kind of tabletop bluffs come down to the ground. That's the gate, the northwest corner of the property. We came on this road, which is off of the property a little bit to the north. So the property line for this total of 160 acres is just down here a little bit, running from east to west. That's the north property line, and then there's the dividing line. East side, there's two 40 acres on the east side, and there's an 80 acre piece. It's currently configured on the west side. But just spinning around doing a 360 view, and just for your information, we came up in this Dodge truck, or this Dodge Ram. It is a four-wheel drive, but we did not use four-wheel drive to get here. It made it with two-wheel drive. So you can make it in a two-wheel drive if you've got enough clearance in the vehicle, and the weather conditions are nice. It hasn't rained here for a while, so the roads are nice and dry. We entered the 160 acres over here, kind of the northwest corner, and the gate is that way. Then there's a road that kind of meanders this way around the north side of the property on state of Arizona land, which I'm currently standing on, and the road continues on this way. The the northeast corner of the subject property is right down in here, just a little bit south of this road, and the property line runs due west. So the north side of the property is over here, and then the east boundary Starts here and heads south, goes up on that hill. So everything you see to the south of me and to the west of about right over here, all of this is a part of the 160 acres being offered at online auction. The topography here is pretty cool. I'm standing on one of these little rock outcroppings. You can see there's a lot of this, these cool, like, kind of prehistoric boulders that are cropped out around here, like what I'm standing on right now. Anyway, it's a cool part of Arizona to explore. About 4,400 or so feet elevation is where we're at out here, east of Kingman, south of the 40, east of Highway 93.